In a tense courtroom, a strict judge was about to make his ruling when a little girl broke the silence. "I'm hungry." The room froze. Her mother was mortified, but what the judge did next shocked everyone and changed everything. Samantha Davis woke up before dawn, as she did every other day. The small apartment she shared with her 6-year-old daughter, Olivia, was quiet, save for the distant hum of the city streets outside. Brooklyn never slept, but Sam hardly did either. This morning was different. Instead of rushing to her job at the downtown bakery, she was heading to court to stand before a judge. The reason? A $200 parking ticket. Something that felt trivial but carried heavy consequences for her. Sam looked at Olivia, still peacefully asleep with her favorite stuffed bunny clutched in her arms. Guilt consumed her. She hadn't meant to park in the wrong spot. She'd only been trying to get medicine for Olivia, who had been feverish last week. Now they faced a fine she couldn't afford. "Come on, Liv," Sam whispered, gently brushing the little girl's curls. "We need to get going." The Brooklyn courthouse was as imposing as ever. Tall ceilings, gray walls, and guards who stood as still as statues. Holding Olivia's hand tightly, Sam felt small and out of place. Whispers surrounded them, most centered on the man they were about to face, Judge Thomas Alden. He was notorious across New York for his rigid adherence to the law, earning him the nickname, the Unforgiving Judge. Sam couldn't fathom how she'd convince someone like him to waive the fine. As they waited for their case to be called, Sam rehearsed her plea in her mind. "Your Honor, I'm a single mother. I was only parked for a few minutes. I didn't want to miss work." The bailiff's voice interrupted her thoughts. "Case number 118. Samantha Davis." Sam's stomach dropped. "Come on, Liv," she whispered, her voice trembling. Olivia looked up with trusting eyes as they approached the bench. Judge Alden sat high above them, his expression cold and unyielding. He methodically flipped through the paperwork, his voice sharp and matter-of-fact. "You parked illegally in a wheelchair-designated spot," he said, his gravelly tone echoing through the courtroom. "Do you deny this?" Sam felt her knees weaken. She gripped Olivia's tiny hand tighter, steadying herself. "No, Your Honor, I—" Before she could finish, a tiny voice cut through the heavy silence. "Can we get pancakes, please?" The words hung in the air like a ripple on still water. The courtroom froze, everyone stunned by the interruption. Sam's cheeks flushed as she felt every eye in the room land on her. The gasps came quickly, followed by murmurs and stifled laughter. Who would dare interrupt Judge Alden, the most intimidating figure in the Brooklyn judicial system? Even Judge Alden himself stopped mid-sentence. His pen hovered in the air as if time had momentarily paused. Slowly he looked up, his steely gaze scanning the room until it landed on the source of the voice. "Olivia." Sam's heart sank. "Olivia," she hissed, crouching slightly to her daughter's level. "What are you doing?" Unbothered, Olivia looked up at her mother with innocent eyes. "My tummy's making loud noises," she said, pointing to her belly. "I'm hungry." The courtroom erupted into murmurs, some chuckling quietly. Even the stern bailiff struggled to maintain his composure. Judge Alden, known for his unshakable demeanor, stared at Olivia. His cold expression softened, just slightly, as he raised an eyebrow. "Did you just say pancakes?" he asked, his tone less sharp than usual. Olivia nodded enthusiastically. "Yeah, pancakes. With syrup, please." This time, the courtroom couldn't contain itself. Laughter broke out in scattered bursts. Sam buried her face in her hands, her embarrassment mounting. "I'm so sorry, Your Honor," she stammered, her voice barely audible over the noise. She's just hungry. It's been a long morning, and we rushed to get here." Judge Alden raised a hand, and the room fell silent. Sam clamped her mouth shut, bracing for his response. But to her astonishment, his expression wasn't angry. Instead, he leaned back in his chair, studying Olivia with what could only be described as curiosity. "Miss Davis," he began, his tone unexpectedly even, "are you telling me you didn't have time for breakfast this morning?" Sam swallowed hard. "No, Your Honor. It was a rush to get here." She glanced down at Olivia, who was now smiling confidently as though she'd just asked a perfectly reasonable question. "What's your name, young lady?" the judge asked, addressing Olivia directly. "Olivia," she said proudly. "But you can call me Liv." A ripple of laughter swept through the room once more, even reaching the stoic judge, who allowed the smallest hint of a smile to appear. "Well, Liv," he said, his tone surprisingly gentle, "I don't think I've ever had anyone request pancakes in my courtroom before." Liv tilted her head thoughtfully. "Maybe you should have some too. They make you happy." The room broke into laughter again, and for the first time, Judge Alden chuckled, a sound that stunned everyone. He cleared his throat and stood abruptly. "The court will take a short recess," he announced. The bailiff blinked in surprise. "Your Honor, a recess." "Yes, recess," the judge repeated before disappearing into his chambers. The courtroom buzzed with whispers, but Sam remained frozen, her mind reeling. Olivia tugged at her sleeve. "Mommy, is he getting pancakes for us?" Sam had no idea what was happening, but for the first time that day, she felt something she hadn't expected: hope. And then it happened. The once silent courtroom erupted into applause, soft at first, then building into a rising chorus of claps, murmurs, and even a few cheers. Judge Alden's stern expression softened, cracking into a faint smile. The people in the gallery nodded in approval, whispering comments like, "It's about time," and "That's the right call." Sam gasped, her hand flying to her mouth as tears welled up in her eyes. She could hardly believe what she'd just heard. Her shoulders sagged. The weight she'd carried for so long finally lifted. "Thank you," she whispered through her tears, her voice breaking with emotion. "Thank you so much, Your Honor." Olivia looked up at her mom with a wide, proud smile, as though she'd always known things would turn out this way. "See, Mommy," Olivia said brightly, "I told you pancakes make people happy." The room chuckled softly at her innocent remark, but Judge Alden wasn't finished. He reached for a folder on his desk and opened it with deliberate care. "Miss Davis," he began, his tone now tinged with gentleness, "while dismissing this ticket alleviates some immediate stress, I understand it doesn't solve the larger challenges you're facing." Sam looked up, a mixture of confusion and relief crossing her tear-streaked face. "I'm providing you with resources that might help," Judge Alden continued, handing a printed sheet to the bailiff, who brought it to Sam. "This list includes programs for child care support, job training, and most importantly, an online degree program at no cost to you." Sam stared at the paper, the words blurring through her tears. These weren't just empty promises. They were real opportunities, things she never even knew existed. "Job training, child care," she whispered, her voice trembling as she read the words aloud. Her hands shook as she clutched the paper, afraid it might vanish if she let it go. Judge Alden leaned forward slightly. "I know that being a single mother comes with challenges most of us can't imagine. These resources will give you a chance to build something better for yourself and your daughter." Sam's knees felt weak. She clutched the list to her chest as though it were a lifeline. Barely able to look up, she stammered, I don't know how to thank you." "You don't need to," Judge Alden said with a faint but genuine smile. "Justice isn't just about punishment, it's about understanding. It's about helping when we can." Sam couldn't hold back her tears any longer. Silent tears of gratitude, relief, and disbelief. Beside her, Olivia, oblivious to the deeper significance of the moment, tugged at her mother's sleeve. "Mommy, are you happy now?" Sam knelt down, pulling Olivia close and pressing a kiss to her curls. "Yes, baby," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "I'm happy." Judge Alden's voice echoed one final time through the courtroom. "This case is dismissed." The courtroom erupted into applause again, this time louder, and with people standing to their feet, cheering softly as if they had witnessed something rare and precious. Justice served with compassion. For Samantha, this moment wasn't just about a dismissed parking ticket. It was about the hope she hadn't dared to dream of, the kindness she'd been shown in a place she never expected. As she and Olivia left the courtroom, the list of resources still clutched tightly in her hand, Sam looked back at Judge Alden. He wasn't just a stern judge anymore. He was someone who had seen her, someone who truly cared. "Thank you," she whispered again, this time not just for the dismissed fine, but for a second chance. For the first time in years, Sam walked out of a courtroom not feeling defeated but empowered. Holding Olivia's hand tightly, she realized that even in the unlikeliest of places, kindness and hope could still be found. News of Judge Alden's unexpected act of compassion spread quickly. Local news stations and social media shared the heartwarming story of a judge who broke his own mold, all because of one hungry 6-year-old's honesty. For Sam, it marked the start of something new. She enrolled in the online degree program, secured better childcare, and for the first time in years, she felt hope for the future. As for Judge Alden, the experience changed him too. He came to understand that the law wasn't just about enforcing rules but about protecting and uplifting those who needed it most. One sunny morning, months later, Sam sat at her small kitchen table, focused on her studies, while Olivia happily munched on her favorite breakfast, pancakes. "Mommy," Olivia said with a giggle, "do you think the nice judge likes pancakes too?" Sam smiled warmly, her heart full. "I think so, sweetie. I really think he does. Sometimes, a child's honesty can open hearts, change lives, and remind us all that kindness can be found in the most unexpected places." What do you think about Judge Alden's decision? Was it the right call to dismiss the fine and help a struggling mother? And if you were in his shoes, what would you have done? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective, and we'll see you in the next video.